Good morning and welcome back to Coffee with Toffees, guys, the Dota 2 morning show that I bring to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We'll start off with the plugs as we always do. My name's Toffees. You can follow me at Toffees_Dota2 over on Twitter. You can do all kinds of fun stuff. So, for instance, you can follow me on Twitter. You can check out our YouTube site. You can check out the easiest way to do it, honestly, is SoundCloud.com/Toffees_Dota2. That has links to our RSS. We have a podcast. We have an Android feed. We have, like I said, the YouTube, the SoundCloud. Pretty much everything is listed on there, including two of our big projects. First and foremost, the Patreon.com that we've released to help support the show. You can go there, patreon.com/Toffees, and choose to support the Coffees with Toffees show. On top of that, there's also a link to our brand new project, which is Dota FM. So you can go there, Dota FM, mixlr.com/Dota FM is the program that we're using. We're working on a website right now, so still experimental phase. We're still testing it out to kind of see how it's going to work and what the fans like and don't like. We should have a website up by the beginning of the new year. Our web designer is actually doing midterms right now, so he's going to be helping us out to get the web up soon. Once that's done, we'll actually have a website to give you. That said, though, you can get the app on iPhone and Android. It's MIXLR, and look for Dota FM on that app, and you can listen to it anywhere. It's a low bandwidth esports radio, basically, meant so that you can have live coverage of pro games while you're at work or school or anywhere that you might not be able to run a Twitch stream. So that's kind of the hope and the goal. I know that when I started watching Pro Dota, I'd run Twitch in my pocket while I did things like work out or go to work, and I had to increase my data plan because I was just burning through it so ridiculously quickly. So the hope is this will reduce the amount that you have to spend on that sort of thing. If you want to support that project and let us know it's a good idea, same place. You can go to the Patreon and choose to support the inception of Dota Radio, or Dota FM as it were. So if you like that idea and you want to put some money towards it, that's fine. It's costing a lot because we got to buy the tickets for all the casters. But the second we can afford to pay the casters a little bit of a stipend and get them the tickets, we'll be able to actually get full-time coverage. So the more donations, the bigger we get, and that's really the basis of that. So there's the plugs. Let's talk about the news. Well, I should probably mention our guest, or lack thereof. Gorg is supposed to be here. He did send me a message a little while ago that said that he had some issue with some rats and may not be able to wake up in time for the show. So I don't know if those are rats like, the mob deals with on a regular basis and he had to go and off somebody, or if he just had a pet rat that escaped from a cage. Either way, he's not here right now, but we're going to leave on the paperwork because he may show up, and if he does, I want him to feel welcome. So that said, let's get to pro news. There's not a ton of news today, and there's not a ton of games. It's kind of a quiet day in the world of Dota. Reason for that being, big tournament starts tomorrow. On top of that, we have the fact that it's Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving! So that's tomorrow. That's why we're not going to see a lot of big games going on at the moment. Tomorrow, though, we do launch up with the rebirth of Dream League. We'll talk about that in a little while. So the most interesting thing in pro news so far is there's two statements, both by CEOs of companies. In the first one, Zero Gravity, boom, the CEO of Navi, has said that Navi will return to power by February. Basically, he said that the issues with the old team were not skill-related. It could, however, not exist as a team due to personal reasons. He said if half the team is not willing to meet halfway, there's nothing you can do about it, implying that there was a situation between the players that just didn't work in a personality base. Now, they've been very quiet about it. They've sort of kept to themselves in this whole process, but that is confirmed by the CEO of Navi. He's also gone on to say that it's hard, he said, and I quote this, "It's hard to say what will happen to Navi US. We will decide next week." So there is a good, or I don't want to say good, there is a chance that as of next week, Navi US may cease to exist or may have some sort of modification to the way that their contract is functioned. So be aware, be looking for that. I'll obviously be looking for it and I'll let you know as soon as we know more about Navi US. He wanted to say that Navi can't play 30 matches a week, that it's nonsense. That he said, and it's interesting he chose this, would you watch FC Barcelona if they played every day? The top matches must have zest. And I think that that's true. I think that's a good point. There's just so much going on in tournaments today that it's hard to watch them constantly. So The same reason we started the show is the same reason that teams are struggling. There were so many tournaments that I started the show to keep everyone updated on what was happening in the Dota world because it's just confusing. There's so much. So he did go on to say that that's a problem. He doesn't believe in it. And next year, Navi will only be committing to the top tournaments. He listed ESL, DreamHack, StarLadder, and interestingly enough, MLG, who doesn't officially have any programming yet, but he chose them as one of the tournaments that they would be willing to play. He also got a lot of coverage for saying these words, and I quote, "Mere playing online isn't interesting anymore, and anyone that does not understand this is from another universe." So it sounds like he is only interested in LANs, and he sees the future of esports developing, and says online tournaments are not the future of esports. So there you have it, from the mouth of one of the CEOs who owns one of the most famous teams in Dota, Navi. Which takes us to another CEO, and that is Alex Garfield, who ran a Reddit. Now, Alex Garfield is notorious for being really standoffish, quiet, sort of behind the scenes. And he did an AMA, which caught us all off guard. I don't think it was very well advertised initially, but once it started, everyone ran with it. Now, he is the CEO for GG Gaming, or Evil Geniuses, or core organization, as well as traditionally Alliance. And then in the AMA, he said some interesting things. It was a good reach. Check it out. Nothing really pertinent to what the show talks about, except in one case. In conversation, casually, Alex Garfield said, "We work hard to support the 3 teams that we represent." No one said anything until about 10 minutes later, a person on the AMA, just a casual fan, got on and said, "Wait a minute. Maybe I'm crazy, but who's the third team? I know Alliance, I know EG, but I'm not sure about the third." And Alex Garfield came back and said, "Oh yeah, well, we now are in charge of Team Tinker." So it's official. Team Tinker is part of GG Gaming, which is exciting for them. He also mentioned that they thought, as of a little while ago, that they would have Team Secret, but it looks like Team Secret's going a different way. So a lot of us suspected that GG would be picking up Secret. It seems like it's not going to happen, and it still seems like maybe Secret is weighing their options. They haven't, until they put the post up, they haven't really technically committed to anybody. So Alex Garfield confirms Tinker now part of his organization, as well as the fact that they tried to get their hands on Secret, but were unable to do so. Now, Jay Schaefer over in chat is talking about how Fogg said a week or so ago that Navi US weren't playing together. That is true, though the reason we're not going to report, that's a rumor, I'm going to stress that. They aren't playing together in the same way that Brax wasn't playing with them for a while. It's not technical because they're still under contract with Navi. The other big deal is that they may not be playing together while they wait for the retrofit, and they're not guaranteed to be disbanded yet. We'll have to wait and see what Navi actually says. Navi could just have put them on the bench to make sure that they had time to kind of figure out where they were and what they needed to accomplish. Now, let's roll into tournament news. The first piece of news, we're starting small today, but I don't think it's small in light of where we're at. So a tournament called SCG, it is the Selangor Cyber Games, was announced in the SEA region. It's a multi-gaming event, a tournament that's played on December 13th and 14th. The prize is $3,000 for the winner. Now, I know that's not a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, in the Southeast Asia region, in a region that was rocked by 322 scandal, it's had a really hard time getting their feet under them as they're a burgeoning group. I think this is a great thing. The idea that they're bringing back tournaments, they're making it part of a multi-tournament experience, should be a lot of fun. At that tournament, they'll have League. It looks like they'll have FIFA 15, and I think they're going to have Advanced Warfare. So a lot of good games, Dota in the mix, and the money that's thrown at the players is nice. In a scene where there's not a lot of cash for LAN events, this can only help it grow. And try to move past that 322 scandal. It's just been haunting the SEA since the issues about a month ago. Next one, a little bit bigger news, is Beyond the Summit. So the teams are secured. The rosters are in place and the invites are out. The official lineup for Beyond the Summit, or the Summit 2, is going to be VG, EG, that's Evil Geniuses, Secret Team, Cloud9, not today, and the last one was supposed to be First Departure, but First Departure, unfortunately, not going to be able to make it to the tournament. Gods just tweeted, I shouldn't say just, it was on the 25th in the morning. He said he's sad to confirm that First Departure will not attend. Unfortunately, Miracle and Polisan could not get out of NSN school, so they are literally stuck. They don't have First Departure. They're looking for someone to come in. I've heard Invasion is first on the list, but I cannot guarantee that, as obviously it's a very short notice to get all of this stuff up and running. They have announced a new format. The opening group stage will be 6 teams, and they'll all play each other once. So that's going to be a very busy day. 9 games scheduled for day 1. That's going to be pretty crazy. And then it'll go to a best-of-5 playoff. It's $500,000. I'm sorry, $300,000. Whew, 500 would be amazing. So far, $300,000 in the prize pool. So this is a big tournament. A lot of money on the line. Should be a lot of fun to watch. So I'm excited about that. And hopefully, a good team is found to fill in the holes. Next piece of news, D2L update. EG has secured their position, so if you're looking at the standings, it can be a little off-putting because you see that they have the same point total as VP Polar at 4. However, EG has 1 less match played. VP Polar has played all of their matches, so because of the way that it breaks down, EG has secured their position when compared to the other teams that are on the lists based on win and loss ratios. So EG will be joining VG. Who is it? It is LV. Sorry, so many V's in these things. EG will be joining LV Gaming and CDEC in Vegas for the D2L final. Last spot to be confirmed, hasn't been decided just yet. Next piece of news we're talking about is the XMG Captains Draft. The group stage has ended, and it looks like VP, Secret, Tinker, and Navi advance to the playoffs. Interestingly enough, EG was knocked out by 1 game. So they literally, I don't know if you guys remember, we had PPD on the show, and we talked a little bit, Charlie as well, about the XMG Captains Draft. And Charlie said, the guys weren't all that serious about it initially. The prize pool was small. Nobody expected it to get this big. It's over $250,000 now. And had a little bit of fun with it, and they did. They clowned a bit the first game or two, and said, we can make it back if it's an issue. And it's interesting to me that they didn't. They missed it by 1. So one of those things where, you kind of want to have a fun tournament and be able to make some clowny picks, but when the compendium gets it that big, you sort of feel bad about it. That said, it means they didn't get nothing. Evil Geniuses in 5th place got 17 grand. 4 Anchors got 11.7 and 6. 7th place got 7.8 for the Power Rangers, and 8th place took home 5.2 as the Alliance. The top 4 will be playing in the playoffs. That should be a lot of fun. Secret looks like they're in a good position to win this one, and that's going to be a $91,000 grand prize to the winner. And should be good. Tinker's been responding really well, I think, to the Captain's Draft mode. So that said, that's XMG, and that is the last piece of tournament update. Now, here's an interesting thing that you should probably know, and that is that Synergy Cybersport League, which we've talked a little bit about through the last month or so, has established its LAN placings. It did a while ago. The online phase, so the qualifiers looks like they've had a lot of issues. They've lost teams, they've picked up teams. I'm not even fully sure who is going to be in what portion of the finals. I know that Newbie, Team Malaysia, VP Polar, Aftershock, Moscow 5, and Hellraisers look like refused to travel to the location in Russia, and replacements were needed to be found. So there's a lot of issues in that capacity. Synergy also didn't want to go up against Dream League, which starts on Thursdays, so they decided to move the final. So Synergy League has a LAN final, and is going to be postponed, however, until next year. We don't know when. So literally this tournament has been running on Join Dota. It's been saying we're going to be huge, we're going to have tons of cash, we're going to do prizes, and now we don't even know when they're going to do it. So that's a little bit interesting. A bummer for Synergy, a bummer for, I think, Dota in general to see something like that happen, but it is going to be pushed off. All right, now we're going to roll through to our picks for the day. That's it for the news. The news is pretty much wrapped up. All right. So let's take a look at my picks for today. As far as games go that I recommend watching, the one that I'm going to recommend is Secret versus VP Polar. That's going to be on Dota Pit in about 7 hours from now. So we'll count on screen. Around 4. And the reason I'm picking that one is because we're going to try to have it covered on Dota FM, so a little bit of self-serving there. There's also going to be a match between Team Secret and Navi at about 2 o'clock this afternoon, EST, obviously. That should be very good as well. I'll see if I can get that one covered on Dota FM if we can. But right now, like I said, Dota FM, we're still trying to find more staff, more casters, people to cover these tournaments. So it's a little bit spotty in terms of coverage right now, but we're getting there. And if you want to support it, you're more than welcome to. But that's the show, guys. Let's wrap it up with the plugs. My name's Toffees. You can follow me at Toffees_Dota2. If you want to support this show or Dota FM, you can head over to patreon.com/Toffees and choose to support. Good news, guys. We hit our $75 stretch goal, so t-shirts are on the way. On top of that, we are $3 short of hitting our $100 stretch goal, which means I can bring a producer on actually full-time, give him a decent amount of money to help produce the show, take a little bit of work off my plate, and add some quality to the thing. So that's exciting. We're close to that stretch goal. So thank you so much for all the support you've given us. That said, the t-shirt is designed, the mug is designed. I will be ordering them samples basically with the Patreon proceeds on the 1st, and once they get here I'll use them on stream, let you guys know about them. But if you want to make pre-orders so that you can have it before anybody else does, you are more than welcome to. The listing and the prices is over on patreon.com/Toffees. Remember, the new Dota FM is launched. It's mixlr.com/DotaFM, or you can get the app on Mixlr for a iPhone or an Android. On top of that, guys, there's a Coffee with Toffees chat in Steam you can get into. It's coffeew/Toffees. And lots of ways to communicate, lots of ways to play. The show wouldn't be what it is without your support, so anything that you need, let me know. We're here for you guys. That said, though, have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and as always, Toffees out.